Hi folks, my name is Rohan Teja and today I will be talking about the use of mobile devices for work purposes. This video will contain four segments. First, I will give a brief introduction about the concepts of COPE and BYOD. Second, some organizational issues in their implementation. Third, I will give a brief judgment of whether or not one concept is better than the other in implementation in the near future and why. And fourth, I would back it up with a case study. Let's start with the concepts of COPE and BYOD. COPE stands for Company Owned Personally Enabled Devices. In this situation, a firm provides employees with mobile devices like work phones, laptops, and tablets, and it's the firm's responsibility to provide and maintain the software and hardware in each of these devices. BYOD, in comparison, stands for Bring Your Own Device. In this situation, a firm allows its employees to use their personal devices for work purposes. A user has an option to connect his or her smartphone or tablet to the firm's network and extract information as and when required. Some organizational issues in implementing these two strategies are mainly around security management. Let's take an example of a company owned laptop issued to an employee. When it comes to security, the company can take some countermeasures, such as they can determine and limit the type of device that can be used by employees. They can implement minimum system requirements and configurations. They can install security related software to each and every device. The company data can be encrypted on the devices. They can apply security patches. They can monitor the use of the device and detect misuse as and when it occurs. They can obtain or access the device for the purpose of an investigation as and when required, since the company owns the device. However, the firm has to make huge investments in purchasing these devices as well as managing the IT behind it. If, in the same example, the individual owns a mobile device and uses it for work, then some of the advantages transform into issues, such as the firm now is not in a position to determine or limit the type of devices that can be used by its employees. This implies the firm now has to organize clouds for different operating softwares. For example, some employees might carry Android, some might carry an iPhone, while the other users might have Windows on their devices. It becomes essential in this situation to organize a common platform. The firm no longer is in a position to choose the minimum requirements. It would be forced to follow the minimum level its employees use on their respective devices. These devices contain both personal and professional data, so security breaches of the sensitive data might become an issue. Employees could use the sensitive data as a leverage to join other organizations through strategic initiatives. So, BYOD or COPE. BYOD would be my clear choice as a trend for the near future. I support my opinion with the following infographics about the use and trends about more and more firms adopting a BYOD policy. BYOD, a clear future. Why go BYOD? It's expensive for the firms to purchase new technology to update outdated devices. Updating softwares is much easier than managing individual hardwares as well as softwares. Many employees prefer to use their personal devices than the devices issued by their employers. Nowadays, almost every employee already owns a smartphone and laptops that are required to implement a BYOD policy. In a survey conducted in 2011, 85% of adults owned a smartphone, 52% owned laptops, 59% owned desktops, and 19% owned tablets. Additionally, 20% of BYOD users paid device and service plan costs deducted by eligible expenses. 25% of them deducted a stipend amount. A staggering 50% of employees bore all the costs, and only 5% bore the device cost, letting the company pay the rest. Who has gone BYOD? There are some interesting examples of companies, colleges, and even school districts that have gone BYOD. Colleges include University of Tennessee, University of South Florida, King's College, Sao Paulo State University, South America. Some companies such as Colgate, Cisco, Shoppers Stop, and even IBM have adopted a 100% BYOD policy. School districts include Marlborough Township School District, Frankfort Community School District, Napa Valley School District, and more. In the same study in 2011, out of the companies that responded, 72.2% currently support BYOD, 14.8% are considering supporting BYOD, and only 9.3% are not planning to adopt this policy in the near future. Some pros of BYOD include Use of familiar devices to complete tasks leaves a positive impact on employees. It saves money to the firm. Employees would be more likely to remember to bring their personal devices since they like using them. Employees can cut back on the amount of devices they have to carry every day. Often, individuals own a more cutting edge technology than firms. However, adoption of BYOD cannot be underestimated. Employees and students might forget chargers. Some employees may not be able to afford these devices. Distraction might become a key issue. Managing a common platform for all users might be a major issue. An increase in IT management cost would be a result of adopting BYOD. Lastly, I'll wrap things up with a case study of Brunel University, UK. Their vision was to provide a consistent BYOD policy for all students, staff, and visitors across the campus. The solution that they adopted was a mobile device management system provided by Cisco called Cisco ISE 2600. It helped identifying the users and their locations through Wi Fi access points spread through the campus. From the university's point of view, it helped distinguish the networks for students, staff, and visitors with separate information security policies, so the access to sensitive data was limited to relevant users.